Hi everyone! If you're a fan of salmon like I am, I have a wonderful new recipe for you. I'm going to be making Asian salmon burgers today. They're going to be teamed up with an orange and soy vinaigrette. These are super healthy, not too difficult to make at all. You will need a food processor, something to chop up your salmon with. You're really going to love these, and I think they'll be one of your favorite new salmon recipes. Please enjoy the video, and I hope you get to make these soon. You'll find the ingredients listed below in the description box, and you'll find the full recipe at Diane's World Cooking on Facebook. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe to my channel yet, please do. I would love it. Please enjoy. Hope you get to make these soon, and thanks for watching.
Start out by finely mincing 2 garlic cloves. Now you're going to get your salmon ready for the food processor, so you're going to cut it up into 2-inch chunks. Make sure that the skin was taken off of your salmon. I'm using a Norwegian salmon today, but you could use any kind that you want. So start putting the chunks of salmon into your food processor. Get the lid on, and then you're going to pulse. You don't want to puree this. You want to have little tiny pieces, almost like in hamburger. So you'll have to stop at a certain point and take a good look at it. If you have to keep pulsing it, just make sure that you turn it all around in the food processor so it's all evenly chopped. I'm adding the salmon to a medium-sized bowl, and now I'm going to season it. I'm going to add 1 large egg to the salmon, and then I'm going to add that garlic that I minced. Now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. It seems like a lot, but it's just perfect with the flavoring. I'm adding 2 tablespoons of hoisin sauce. This is really easy to find in almost all the grocery stores. It's kind of like an Asian barbecue sauce. It's so good. My store didn't have any fresh tarragon, so I'm going to use some dry tarragon flakes, and they worked out great, so I'm putting in 2 teaspoons. Normally it would be 3 tablespoons of fresh tarragon. You'll want to add a 1/2 cup of Panko breadcrumbs. I wouldn't use Italian seasoned breadcrumbs. You really want them to be plain. And if you have a gluten-free version of breadcrumbs, you can certainly use them. The recipe calls for 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Now that does make them a little bit hot and spicy, so you could cut that back to a 1/2 if you want. All of your ingredients are in your salmon burgers, so now you want to mix it really well. Make sure every single bit of your ingredients gets thoroughly mixed. I'm going to make this great orange-soy vinaigrette, and yes, I cut my orange the wrong way. It's better to cut it the other way. You just get better juice out of it. But I like to use a fork, and that loosens up the pulp and get the whole thing juiced. It comes to about 2 tablespoons, which is in the recipe, and you'll see that I'm measuring it. If you have a little bit more, it's really fine. You'll want to peel and finely mince about a 1-inch piece of ginger. Make sure it's really fine because you don't want large pieces floating around in your vinaigrette. I'm adding 1 teaspoon of my ginger to the vinaigrette. If you ever have leftover ginger, it freezes very well. Scoop it up and put it in a little baggie. Now here comes 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar, and that's the perfect vinegar for this kind of vinaigrette. I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons of extra light olive oil. You could use another kind of an oil, avocado, canola, whatever is good. And now here comes some soy sauce. So I want 1 teaspoon. I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of toasted sesame oil. You'll know it's toasted because it's dark brown, and you can't use a lot of this or it will just all taste like sesame oil. So really restrict yourself and just use a small amount. There's also going to be about 1.5 teaspoons of granulated sugar. I didn't get to record that, but it's in this, and it really does make it taste great. And whisk really well. Now it's time to cook the burgers, so I'm putting some parchment paper on a cookie sheet. I like to crumble it up like this so the parchment paper doesn't curl up. That's always a problem, I think. And you can even flip this over. So now you want to spray the parchment with some canola oil spray or olive oil spray. Even though it's parchment, you really need to make sure it's non-stick. So get your salmon mixture out of the refrigerator. I'm going to use an ice cream scoop. I'm actually making these in the size of sliders, and if you wanted a full-size burger, you could just do 2 scoops, one on top of each other, and then flatten them out, and you'd have a large burger. I was able to get 6 sliders on this cookie sheet, and I think the other one there were 4. So that would give you enough for 4 or 5 people, depending on your appetite. Very carefully flatten your burgers with a spatula. If you've got a Teflon spatula, they work the best for this. I'm off to my toaster oven. I'm going to broil these, and you can definitely do these in a regular oven, and you can even grill them. They're a little tricky on that, but anyway, I'm going to flip them over once, cooking them for about 4 minutes on each side. Here they are, ready to go. I just can't wait to have them. Now, you could have these on a little roll, a slider roll, or a large roll if you make the full size, but I'm going to have mine on some salad greens with the vinaigrette. If you're making a salad, you can use baby kale or baby field greens, baby arugula, whatever you want. And you can also cut up some tomatoes, cucumbers, some red onion, really make it a nice meal. Now these are warm, but you can actually eat these cold and they're really good. If you make them ahead of time, just gently warm them up in a microwave. Now I'm going to drizzle with the beautiful orange and soy vinaigrette. I like to garnish them too with some freshly sliced scallions. Now that's a really good looking lunch or dinner.
Well, this is always the best part to taste. This smells so good. My whole kitchen smells unbelievable. They were very easy to make. You know, I made them the size of sliders. And I think I would have cut the cooking time back maybe a couple of minutes because they weren't so thick. But anyhow, I'm having them on a salad, and here goes. I've dressed them with the vinaigrette, as you saw, and I put some beautiful scallions on them for decoration. So let's do a taste test. You wouldn't believe the flavors. It's brought salmon to a new level, and it's also super moist. I think between the egg and the liquids that went in there, that really made that happen. I haven't made these in a little bit, and these are even better than I can remember. Please enjoy, and I hope you get to make these as soon as you can. And once again, thanks for watching.